Hello, my comrade Americans. Did you miss me? I missed you. It's a crazy year. It's a wild year. I don't know about you, but I'm nervous. There are a lot going on, and some of it I want to discuss with this gorgeous exotic dancer, Cherry.
Hello.
So at the beginning of the year, you and I talked about investing money, and you gave me advice to invest in Bitcoin.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't take it, not because I didn't respect it enough, but it's because I got distracted. I have two children.
Oh, yeah. No.
But 2 weeks into 2024, Bitcoin went up 10 grand. And I was like, any more advice?
I think, personally, I've been getting into looking at art and just physical things. Low value that you could get now that's easy, like cassette tapes used to be 99 cents, and all of the Goodwills and what were they, like convenience like stores and stuff. Family Dollar even had cassettes at one point. They don't sell them anymore, so they're like thousands of dollars.
The relics.
They were 99 cents. And now, if you go and sell it back, it's thousands of dollars. Your two Titanics, 2,000, really more than that because it's Titanic and it's not just some movie. Like, oh, it's the Goofy movie. Like, no, Titanic is a movie people really have, like, oh my God, it's Titanic. Like, so, trying to figure out and pay attention to things that are going out of style that you could hold on to in a box and it wouldn't be hard, or it wouldn't be like, oh, like you said, like you couldn't really get distracted, like you would get distracted in it just being in a box back there, but then you realize, wait, they don't sell this anymore? I think, what else? Yeah, that was something that I had wrote down as a note. It's steel stock, American steel, like metal.
Yeah.
I put $5 in it probably like a couple years ago, and now it's $50. And that was on Robinhood. And so
I have a feeling I'm invested in it. But
right.
It's a good one.
It's
It's
like,
a good one.
this one is like, if you're cool with sitting with like, a $5 that you owe, you make thousands of dollars a year, you got like $5 sitting for a couple of years that make you, or put 50 in there and actually watch it make hundreds of dollars for you, because I only put 5 because they gave me a little $5 to use only in the app.
Right. So, and you trust, have you seen this movie, Dump Money? About a day trader somehow ended up making a killing on investing in this game. Was it a Game Change? What was it? GameStop.
Yes.
GameStop. Listen, here's a Soviet, never gets things right. But anyways, he bankrupt some of the rich people because they didn't see it. But in the movie, you could see that the Robin Hood almost went belly up because of these all events, and I was like, can we even trust these institutions with our money? So I usually diversify. I don't put everything in Robinhood. I'm like here, there,
I like to try, and even with my Bitcoin, I've got a little bit of Bitcoin bought in Robinhood, but I also have Bitcoin on my Cash App. I just feel like it's easier for me to maneuver as an app itself. And yes, Robinhood likes to add themselves into taxes and with the IRS. And so if at any point they wanted to have a freeze on everything,
exactly,
they will.
Exactly.
I think, and then the whole thing with stocks and me getting into them, like I was just playing with the money to try and like, oh, you guys are giving me a $5 credit to put to whatever stock I want. Cool, steel. It's strong. Rawr. like I don't think we're gonna run out of steel anytime soon. So, but you can't take out money when the stock exchange is closed, and they close around like 5 o'clock, I think. 5 o'clock. 4:30.
She's a professional.
4:30. Who has time for that? I am 22.
Yeah.
4:30 when I most of the time don't start trying to get out of the bed until 12 o'clock is crazy.
Yeah.
That gives me 4 hours and 30 minutes to really
Yeah. Me at 4:30.
get my money. Like,
I'm a crazy person with my two kids screaming at one end and the other, and they're back at me. And at 4:30, forget about it. Investments. I don't know if you've heard, but there was this company called Pitchfork. It was a musical cultural hub. They wrote about musicians, indie bands, and became quite huge, and were very popular up until this last year. I think 2023, maybe beginning of 2024. Anyways, but what I found interesting, more interesting than the company, I'm sorry, is that the Condé Nast bought this company and then downsized it into a column in a JQ magazine. And it was a shock for all the workers and employees because
Right.
half of them, or maybe most of them, had to
Fired.
be fired. And of course, out of all the people, they chose Anna Wintour, the editor-in-chief of Vogue, to fire those people. Okay? So she comes, like old Prada and her shades, and she tells them, "You're fucking fired." And here in the South, they will say, "Bless her heart," I think.
Yes.
Of course, they were pissed and all, and but like I wanted to ask you, what do you have moments in your life where you wished you had shades?
well, I guess in that sense, there are a lot of times where, at least when I'm telling the truth out here in the South, I think this is something that I've realized a lot recently, is that I'm from New Jersey. So I'm used to a more blunt, straight shot, direct conversation. If somebody wants something from me, they're going to tell me just that. They're not going to be like, "Oh, you want this first?" They're not going to be like, "How's your day going? Are you going to be free?" They're just going to tell me, "I want you to be here, this time, this address, da-da-da-da-da. If you can't come, that would be sad, but you're going to miss out." That's it. Out here, they're going to be like, "Hey, how are you doing today? Do you have any plans on Thursday?" I was just wondering if you were like interested in like coming out, you know? I was having this idea, like, and then they'll get into it. Like, you just took me down this long road of questions you didn't really care about the answer to ask me about something you really cared about. Get to the point.
Yeah.
And even more so to the fact I've realized that people don't like the truth in that straightforward, given to you straight. Like, unless you're going to give it to them on a bed of roses and clouds with a hug on top, they don't want to hear the truth.
Yeah.
And they don't want it let out. And I feel like it's not exposing anything to tell truths that are known.
It must be 1,000 thing. Or, so where I'm from, you know, you can see the truth in service. Like if you go to a shop anywhere, you open the door, and whomever is a shop assistant or whomever is selling things looks like she hates you, okay?
Exactly.
And I
how it
appreciate
should
it. I was
be.
like, we are straight.
This is how you should be, because if you don't want to be here, don't act like you want to for me. It's fake. Hi.
Right.
I'm so glad to see you here.
Yeah. No, you're
I don't
not.
want to be here. Like, how about you give me the exact energy that you actually feel so I can come up to
Exactly.
you and give you the energy that you need? Like, so if you want
Agree.
something from me, you want to make a plan. If you have something that you don't want me to tell somebody,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want you to go around, like, all around the corners and, "Oh, you shouldn't tell them this because it would hurt their feelings." Okay, Ann, we're all, how old? How many times have we had our feelings hurt? They'll get over it.
Yeah.
Like,
There was
I'd
a-
rather have the truth. and-
Exactly. Yeah, there was a movie made about it. It's called The Menu. I think. Have you seen it?
I think I've
It was
seen,
about a
like-
chef, and it's a 5-star hotel or no
I think I
restaurant,
might have seen it.
and you know, like at a 5-star anything, it's like the non-truth, the lie is maybe hard. Like all these people probably would have been with their families, but they are there, you know, working. And apparently at 5-star restaurants are not paid well. They are paid little because it's like when I used to model, when you work for Vogue, they pay you nothing. But it's because it's Vogue, it's like prestigious, that's what they give you. And same here with the 5-star restaurants. And so they need to give you the lie, the perfect service, but they also don't get paid. And so they murdered all those
That makes me feel
restaurant goers.
Yeah, no, I feel that, whoa.
But, yeah.
They killed them all. No, but what? I think that the whole Vogue thing before the killing thing really has me like, those are the two top, like, wait. Because we have people like Drake and these like prominent people telling you that you're not a real model if you've never been in Vogue, and then to turn around and find out that they don't pay you to be in Vogue.
Vogue, at least when I used to model, which was what, 2000s, they didn't pay you. Nope, never.
I doubt that they even pay you now. Does
don't-
Vogue pay people?
I don't know. It's
Are
a good
people
question. I don't think so.
paying?
My
No.
guess is no.
Yeah, no.
Whomever worked
leave it
for
in the
Vogue, let us
comments.
know how much you paid.
You know.
Did you get paid? All you beautiful Vogue people. Anyways,
Yeah, no.
so, but also, Anna Wintour is such a bad bitch. By the way, she's like 100, looks so hot.
She definitely has this beautiful bone structure. It's like,
And the glasses, I mean, it works. So I think, why is she not running for president? She would make a one stylish president.
she could be president.
So I can go and be a Vogue editor.
Exactly.
In chief.
Yes, I could be an assistant.
Exactly. Have you ever considered running for president?
I personally
You have
wouldn't
time.
run for president, but that's just because I'm not really interested in, not even, or wouldn't be interested. I don't like the arguments that come from speaking on politics.
Biden might croak. This guy is old. And the second one is, my bet is Trump. And we have no one else. Who would be else? Nikki Haley? She might win. Nikki Haley then will be a victory if those two go. All right, so I also want to talk to, moving on from the death. You know, I used to be on stage all the time, and a lot of it in photo shoots, and a lot of it had to do with undressing and being naked, and a lot of the time being naked didn't get paid. Like being naked for Vogue, 0. But
Vogue, pay my girl.
exactly. And hire me again, yes, please do.
Yes. If they have no models, if they have no people who would do it for free, they have to pay. If you force them to pay you, not even in a forcible way where you're putting your hands on anybody, if you really just stand firm on your price, then somebody is going to respect it.
Exactly.
I
Yes.
think the more and more that I do speak up for myself a little bit, and even try to figure out the most respectful way to do it where I'm not frustrated because I do deserve it, and we all do, for whatever time that we're spending, that we're spending that time, and we're never going to get this day back today. Like graciously, I'm glad to be spending it with everybody here. But it's like, we'll never get this day back. So it's like, if you're asked to do something that's out of the way for you that you wouldn't already be doing on a regular, like, oh, I'm stamping papers, so I don't mind to stamp your paper with your stamp. That's different from, oh, I want your knowledge, oh, I want your time and help with this long-term thing, or I want to do this thing with you.
Yeah.
I think recently I've seen a lot of the YouTube guys try to reach out to not only me but my friends and try to say, we're starting this from the bottom. You should want to come spend your time, your gas money, and buy some type of food and snacks to bring and cultivate this vibe, because one day we'll all be on the top and it'll make sense.
Yeah, bullshit.
Right, like,
I learned from my personal experience, which is weird. Like, I would be always naked at my work for free. And they would pay me lots of money for being in clothes. But whenever it was naked,
they don't.
free. So anyways.
It's like, wait.
But then like, I would, and of course those would be the most popular photos.
Right.
But then when I go back to my regular life, I own so many turtlenecks and maxi dresses. I look like a monk. And my friends are so confused. You're living this glamorous life. Why are you so covered up in your real life? It's a good question, because even before I started modeling, I was like more like a monk, like, you know, like don't
covered
look at
up.
my tits, like I'm all
75%.
like, yeah, I'm not here. So can you relate, because your work has also to do with, you know, getting naked, well, unlike some people, for pay.
Yes.
So can you relate are you different in your real life, and do you have people like, surprised?
Well, as of right now, I private dance more and try to have some type of day job and or art opportunities, basically.
Art opportunities.
Yes.
You're an artist.
Yes, I'm an artist. So during the day, things like sewing and mending people's clothes or making a painting of somebody's favorite artist or like basketball star or stuff that I do. So I wear all types of clothes. I like to do this rule of like thirds. It's like 2/3 of me is covered with one thing. Then really like once I stand up and stuff, like the shirt is kind of just another like third of my outfit. And then I add this to elongate the look. Mm-hmm. But I like to try and show skin. I think you said you have turtlenecks. I don't even have turtlenecks that have sleeves. I feel like I've always just been having to be told, stop being naked. You shouldn't be naked around the house. You shouldn't be naked walking to the bathroom. You shouldn't be naked because of whatever reason and because of what. I think in the black community, sadly, we protect people who are perverts. Really, that's the best word for it. I'm going to be straight up honest. We protect perverts. We protect perverts and our family members who we feel that would look at children. And instead of telling them that they're wrong and that they're perverts, instead we make little girls feel uncomfortable with their bodies and being naked because it would make them a target. And yes, as an adult, I see that as, that's smart to try and tell me to cover up if there's somebody right there trying to take my goodies. But shouldn't you keep me away from the person who's trying to take my goodies?
Yeah.
Maybe I should be me, who I'm meant to be, and we should be protecting the babies so that they can express themselves the way they want to be. Because I may as well be a whole nudist, monk, cult leader. Hey.
I'd love that. I'll be in that cult. So I wanted to run this by you because, once I think about something all the time, then I have to, get it out.
Yes.
Get it out.
Yes.
So, some time ago, I was jogging, and I was just jogging, listening to my music, and then this guy runs by. I could be his mother. And he turns around, and I was listening to the music, but I guess he was loud enough. He's like, "You have the best ass."
Great.
Yeah,
compliment.
you like it?
Great
because I was like, ew, but then I was like,
you know
I
what?
It.
You
I
know
worked hard for it.
Yes,
that's why
it's
I'm
like
here.
I'm literally out here working for this butt right now. I'm glad that you see that my hard work is actually coming through. Okay. I feel like
all right,
as long as a
because
cat
I was
call,
confused.
I feel like I don't know about you, but a cat call has levels, and there's a respectful level where it's not even just women understanding that, but men who are respectful of women just being human beings and just wanting to give a nice compliment instead of being sexual. I've had people where I've been catcalled, but only for it to be like the preamble to them being like, "Can I get your number? Like, I'm trying to get you, man." It's like, like, you're so hot. Your body's just, yeah. I don't know. I can't think of anything directly right now, but like
Maybe
if I'm
it's like
a
a
dude
delivery.
talking to
It
myself,
depends
right? It's
on
like if
how
it's
it was
giving,
said.
right? Because if it's like, you're such a beautiful girl. I love your hair color. These are great compliments I've got. Oh nope, I got this one. This one was gross. It said, "You're the girl of my dreams. I must be dreaming right now. Can you pinch me?" Oh, touch you and you're a stranger and we're out in public and I'm just walking on the sidewalk. What possessed you for the whole sentence?
And sometimes I wonder, like, how is it like in reverse to man? You know, like if men were catcalled. You know, like if the construction women were like,
Yeah.
great ass. Oh, look at those guns.
See, but I do that. I think for it to be something that I'm okay with, that I accept personally, like if somebody is like, "Oh, I like your shoes," I'm like, "Thank you so much. I got them from here." If I remember where I got them from or whatever, like I take the compliment and like appreciate it. I think on both ends, I gotta be able to give you these compliments. If you can give me a compliment about my great butt, I should be able to turn around and be like, "You've got such an awesome ass, man."
Right.
I think that's the only thing that's weird. Out here more than anything, it's a lot of men who are toxic, have this toxic masculinity thing where it's like, I can't take a compliment. So the first thing I'll hear is, "Oh, everybody says that," like, or what? They'll deflect. I think the best advice, what? Stop deflecting from compliments, people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
do you have people do that? Like, you give a compliment and they're just like, "Oh, this is old." Like, "Oh, you like my, like if you said you liked my shirt," I'm like, "Oh, this is an old shirt.
old
This
shirt,
is
no,
so
I don't-
ugly."
yeah.
Oh, like,
It's a culture you grew up. It's like you said, like it depends where you were from. Like
right. And if you ever got compliments, I think that's something I haven't realized, is if you're not the type of person to get compliments.
I take the compliments. Tell me everything. I'd love it. Okay. Plus, where I'm from, we used to have 3 shirts and 5 colors, and all look the same. So like. Every time I get anything and like any compliment, I am excited. Like I am growing still from that.
Wait a minute.
Because I was
Back
born in
up.
former USSR, nothing was available.
I feel like they don't really explain that to American children. So like, wait.
So in the store, if you wanted to buy something, there would be one store in the whole town where I was from, small town.
Right.
And it would be one store, and you go
Same
there,
shirt.
and it would be 5 options for children, boys and girls, same shit. And there were 5 options for women, 5 options for men, and all look alike because, I mean, my grandma sew things.
So it's basically like
But
5
generally-
different shirts for everybody.
Generally, it wasn't too many options, and
So do kids get lost in Russia? Is that a thing? Like, it's like people just get mixed up for other people's kids because you're dressed like somebody else's kid?
no,
That's not-
Russia has moved on and went back and moved on and went back centuries again. So there's a complete different story now. They
everybody
have
has clothes.
They're still dirt poor, but yes. Yeah. Look, there was one thing I wanted to ask you before we end this, and I wanted to ask you about Barbie movie, and I sincerely want your opinion. But then you brought up Bob Marley movie, and now I want to talk about that
I
instead.
don't have a problem with talking about both. We have time.
Okay, so Bob Marley movie, you haven't seen it, I haven't seen it, but
Right.
you said that some people already are giving bad feedback.
Yes.
And what was the reason?
The bad feedback, it seemed like it was for Bob Marley being a known out polygamist. He had an open relationship with his main girlfriend, who was also a wife, and some have explained that it seems that he looked up to her as more of a mother figure.
But so like people are confused about polygamy and it's scary, and so they like prejudice against Bob Marley movie.
It's giving that a lot of the ratings are going downward, that they don't like the movie, and that they feel upset for what Rita went through. However, polygamous relationships happen on both ends.
Right.
Like, me and Kat are in a polygamous relationship. We can both have separate relationships that have nothing to do with each other. And it respects each other as long as we communicated that.
Yeah.
Like, as long as it's not some secret, I'm not tiptoeing and closing doors and
Yeah, it's
hiding
not
people.
cheating.
No, it's not. So,
But now, actually, I think the movies' ratings are going to go up because those people that only watch movies when somebody started to criticize something, like me, and I would be like, I want to see what the heck are they criticizing, so I'm going to go watch. It's going to be like a babe.
But I feel that that because you're only watching because of the criticism you heard, that like I'm saying, like if I don't take myself aback and wait until they put it on some type of streaming service in like a couple of weeks or something when it's not out and everybody's talking about it on a regular, then I'll have time to have my own ideas. Like, I'll still remember what everybody says, but
Yeah.
I won't just be sitting there waiting for that moment.
But you are open-minded. And it
Very
doesn't-
much.
You don't
I think
have
it just
fear.
makes it hard to be subjective when you have everybody's opinions poured in your ears before you even watch the trailer.
Yeah. And you said you cried when you watched Barbie. Why?
I went to go see Barbie with my mom. And my mom doesn't even stay out here anymore in North Carolina. Like, we both moved out here to North Carolina a couple of years ago, and she moved away. I really enjoyed the part where Barbie was going through it, trying to figure out how to get back to simple. I can resonate wholeheartedly with wanting to get back to simple and happy. I think just being able to be there with my mom and it being more of like a mother-daughter type movie, it was just like, oh, I'm not nice to my mom all the time.
I think every daughters can relate to that.
So they put the little daughter in there and she's not letting her mom speak at all. And I'm like, oh,
Sounds familiar.
it's like, that's,
You know what? My
that's
mom is
not
coming
nice.
soon. I might
Right,
actually reconsider myself.
Like,
Maybe I'm too harsh.
Right. I think I oftentimes tell a lot of people about people who lived way longer than them and passed away. Like, oh, my grandpa lived to 120 something. Like, you need to have him write a book. Like, help him.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure at that age, I wouldn't want to sit there and write a book. But if you can find 5 interesting stories and vlog them.
Yeah.
And it's like all of these crazy stories that people have gone through and things that our mothers, we forget, have gone through before having us and being a mom and realizing my mom even had Barbies that she recognized from the movie. I never saw you playing with Barbies, lady. What are you talking about? That dress, and I know the name of the Barbie for that dress. Like, what?
Was she crying?
I don't think she cried, but I feel like my mom is more of a less emotional person.
It's the older generation, I feel like.
Yeah, I think really she liked the movie. If that was anything, I could tell by the end that it was like, oh, that was nice. That was a really nice movie.
Yeah. On this note, we are wrapping up. Thank you so much, Cherry.
Thank
Had a
you.
learning experience right now with you. A lot to think about. I'll be calling my mom today.
Sorry if I dimmed the vibes. No,
Yep.
I definitely had some introspection with the Barbie movie. It was something that I cried through because it was hard, but I am glad that I got to talk to you.
Yeah, it's a lesson. It's a lesson for everyone. And if you, like me, have sniffles and need to see a doctor, stay with us. More fun is coming. Bye.